Greetings, pilots and passengers. Long time no see. I do want to say I am still alive and I am still here. I have had a few days where I haven't really made any videos, and the reason behind that is because I have been actually researching for a longer style series of videos that I want to create. So it takes a great deal of research. The series itself is about the transhumanism agenda, and it'll be a fairly long series, I think 5 or 6 videos, longer style videos, delving deep into transhumanism and what it's all about. But I did find something very interesting that I do want to share with you guys. In a sense, it is kind of linked in some ways because it's based on artificial developments and technology and all this craziness that we see going on around us, science and all that. German researchers have successfully implanted, then deleted, false memories in people's minds, which is absolutely wild. To me, it sounds quite dangerous. It's one of those things where you kind of think, if they can do this and have the ability to do it, what would they actually implant into people's minds? Would they implant specific thoughts, specific memories on purpose? The article states, have you ever remembered something from the past that never actually happened? If so, this phenomenon is known as a false memory, and scientists in Germany claim to have figured out a way to induce and implant false memories into people's brains. Researchers from multiple universities conducted a series of experiments on test patients in which false memories were artificially incepted in their minds. Using psychological techniques and tricks that rely heavily on the power of suggestion through repetition, the team successfully implanted false memories into the subjects. So the researchers created fictional stories about the participants' childhoods that contained some truths mixed with lies. They then repeated these skewed stories over and over again until the participants started to believe them as being true. Now, I'm just going to comment on that a little bit because that really does kind of ring a bell with me in terms of the things that we see going on today. You could say that we've been told a lie again and again and again about certain things to the point where people do actually believe it. The same can be said for things that have happened in the past in society, where people have been told a certain narrative, you could say, to the point where they themselves do believe it. So at first the participants were told to just play along since they knew which portions of the stories were lies. After a while, however, fictional elements became progressively murkier to the point that pursuing truth from fiction was no longer possible for the participants. So it got to the point they really could not see the difference between what was true and what was actually just a lie. We've seen that in the past with certain operations as of late that have taken place with the 17th letter of the alphabet, which was in fact a psychological operation, and some would say there were many truths sprinkled into that amongst many lies. So it was to the point where discerning the truth was literally impossible, and figuring out what was actually real got to the point where people genuinely believed what was happening and put all of their faith into this theory. Once this process was complete, the researchers then reversed course and used similar techniques to undo all of the false memories they had implanted. This turned out to be almost as easy a process as injecting the false memories in the first place. They merely asked the volunteers to identify the source of the memory while highlighting the fact that false memories can be created through a process of repeated, elicited recall that itself can become a form of conditioning. So these participants were actually just conditioned to think this way. They had undergone a form of programming to think a certain way, and then reversing all of that appeared to just be as easy as implementing these memories and thoughts in the first place. Does law enforcement psychologically abuse suspects by implanting false memories during questioning? It's a fair question being asked by this article. Over the course of multiple sessions, volunteers were gradually awakened to the presence of the false memories, allowing them to shed them off as fiction. The parents who had participated with the researchers in establishing the false memories also contributing by explaining to their children what had actually happened. After a while, most of the participants returned back to normal. A follow-up a year later found that 74%, or nearly 1 in 3, participants had not only completely rejected all of the false memories, but also forgot that they were ever even implanted. Now that is quite scary in a way, that these people were able to believe these fictional stories of things and false memories and believe that they actually happened, then it's reversed, and to the point where they actually forgot that they had these false memories implanted in the first place, so were completely, it seems, unaware of actually what had actually happened. If you can bring people to this point where they are aware of that, you can empower them to stay closer to their own memories and recollections, and rule out the suggestion from other sources, says psychologist Eileen Oberst from the University of Hagen. I mean, whilst they are stating that this allows people to realise their own recollection and hold on to that much closer and have more of an understanding of the things that they believe are true, have more of an understanding of their memories, realising whether it is true or whether maybe it has been influenced in some way by outside sources. However, it is in itself a scary notion and a scary thought that in essence a lot of these memories can be just manipulated. So on what level are memories that people have actually just manipulations, or have been maybe implanted or tampered with in some way subconsciously, potentially through, I would say, the means of like TV, radio, the news, all of these other outside factors that people just cannot control. The scary part of all this is that it has far-reaching implications, particularly in the realm of law enforcement and criminal justice. If researchers were able to successfully implant false memories using such tactics, chances are that prosecutors, police officers, and other elements of law enforcement are doing the same, and I would not limit it to law enforcement. Again, law enforcement is just one facet, one piece of the huge machine, the huge system that sits atop of us all. Think of also maybe the entertainment industry is a very obvious one. So Hollywood, celebrities, other forms of distractions that keep people occupied. The education system would be a huge one. The things that you are told in history lessons, at what point has that just been manipulated? Faulty memory may not matter in everyday life. If I tell you I had chicken last night instead of pizza, it may not matter, says false memory expert Elizabeth Loftus. But very precise memory does matter when we're talking about these legal cases. It matters whether the bad guy had curly hair or straight hair, or whether the car went through a red light or a green light. Commenting on the story, many Russian Time readers speculated as to the full extent of this form of psychological manipulation. General sentiment is that nearly everything in modern society contains some degree of mind control which is used to socially engineer society. As I have said throughout this, is just another form of manipulation of society and engineering people. The US has something more effective that works as both torture to some and mind control to others. They call it CNN, joked one commenter. I would say in the UK we have, the BBC, we have ITV, and we have GMB, all of which are a part of this lovely mind control system. That is what Western media is doing. As soon as media starts writing some propaganda, i.e. made up stories about another country or any country, people go into hysterics. The media is a very clear tool that would align with all of what is being discussed in this article. Mind control is something that's been taking place for a very, 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 very long time over the masses, to control the population, to enforce change onto people, whether they like it or not. This false memory business with the ability to implant false memories isn't really a surprise to me. As powerful as the mind is, it can easily be manipulated and distorted. Even if you consciously say you can never be manipulated, you can, because on the subconscious level, you're not aware of really what's going on. Your subconscious is able to pick up on a lot more things than your conscious mind is, and you hold on to things a lot dearer in the subconscious. What you do have to really wonder about this is how many memories of specific events in society have people maybe got completely wrong just because they've been potentially implanted into our memories in a certain way. So we hold on to this narrative and believe that it is fact, when actually we're told a specific story that just fits a certain agenda and a certain way, and we all just think this way, but in reality, it's completely wrong, if that makes sense. It's scary stuff. But again, as I always say, I am really not too surprised in this crazy world that we live in today. What do you guys think? Do you think false memory implantation is a new thing, or do you just think that this is a form of programming and mind control, social engineering that has been taking place for a very long time? Let me know down in the comments below. I always love to hear what you guys have to say. Hope you all have a wonderful, blessed day, guys. If you'd like to support the channel, please do subscribe to Dare to Fly Today and get ready to take flight. Like and share this video with others. If you'd like to support the channel even further, you can donate to my Ko-fi page or my PayPal, and links to both of those will be down below in the description box. All donations will support the content that I create, because as you know, I do this for free. I don't get paid to do this. I'd love to, because I love what I do and I love content creation, so any donations really do mean so much to me. You'd be supporting my dreams, so thank you very much. Stay true, stay awake, and stay blessed, guys. Stay safe, and as always, fly high, fear less.